even if this requires me to talk about failures of my life, even if it requires me to talk about one of the worst decisions that I've taken in my life, I'm going to be open to it. I understand that it feels wonderful to count achievements on the fingertips when there are cameras around, when there are people recording. But what happens is, if I just talk about my achievements, I'll be able to motivate you. But motivation is temporary. The moment you go out from this auditorium, you will start forgetting what I was talking about. But if I talk about the failures that I have faced in my life, you will probably remember them for the longer period of time. When you will be probably turning your ideas into reality, you will be able to connect with it. So primarily, I'm going to talk about three things. One is myself. What is it that I do? How do I do it? Second, I'm going to talk about my failures in life. Third, I'm going to talk about how you can turn your ideas into reality without failing. I understand that you must have realized that this fellow has already talked about failures thrice or four times in his 2 minutes of speech. I have done that intentionally. So today, 95% of the startups in India fail. I am sure you would have seen that data. So when you see that data on a newspaper, it's just a statement. 95% of the startups fail in India. But have you ever met those people whose startups had failed? Most of them are not able to restart from there. So there was a time in India when failure was not acceptable to people. People were not ready to accept failures. But today, since social media has come, people are celebrating failures. It's okay if you fail, walk up and start running again. First approach was wrong. Second is dangerous. Failing is okay when you have prepared yourself to succeed. But if you fail because you did not even prepare yourself to succeed, then you are stupid. So what happens when a startup fails? It's just not one person who fails. When one startup fails, second person in the queue does not get investment from the investors. International investors do not invest in India because they know that 95% of startups fail in India. So your failure does not just impact you, it impacts the economy. And here, I have a lot of people sitting here, though light on my face is a little too strong, so I'm not able to see the faces. But I'm assuming that most of the people sitting here are students who are the entrepreneurs who want to start their businesses in future. So it is very important for you to understand that when you turn your ideas into reality, you need to ensure that you are prepared for the failure. You fear the failure. So let me talk about myself. How did I start? What were the failures of my life? So as soon as I had completed 12th, I think God was a little angry with me. My father had a heart attack. All the money that we had for saving, that was spent on his, medical thing. 4, 5 next years, we saved some amount of money, and then my father had another heart attack from where we could not save him. He went through day-long open heart surgery where we had to spend a lot of money. I was feeling that anger of God is just gone now and I'll be able to manage it better. But next year, 2 years after that, 2014, my mother was diagnosed with 3rd stage of cancer and all the savings that we have had went there. So I was also in the situation where most of the youngsters today are. I wanted to start something of my own, but I did not have money for it. I understand, I am sure most of the youth would have been able to relate with it. They have a lot of ideas, but short of funding. So I had one option is to wait for some time. Second is to start with whatever I have had. So my first business idea came from the walls, floor and ceiling of my house. So we were, our house was a little too old. So we were renovating our house. Since we were short of funds, I did not hire an interior designer. And it was I who went to Delhi wholesale markets. I went to Daryaganj to buy wallpapers. I went to Paharganj to buy wall panels. And somehow my house became very beautiful. So relatives and neighbors, everybody who were whoever was coming was like, wow, who's the interior designer that you have hired? And I was like, wow, that's a compliment for me. This is how you get small ideas which you turn into reality. That was my first business. So my relatives and my neighbors, so neighbors, you understand, when they like your house, they don't tell you directly, but they're like, wow, how have they built it? And you get the sense that you have done something nice. Next 15 days, I made a business plan and I started an interior designing business in Gurgaon. I took first floor in Gurgaon Sector 14 market, and I got about 15 days to do the fit out. Landlord said that my father is currently out of India. 15 days, after 15 days, he'll come in and we sign the lease, but you start your fit out thing. He's like, wow, good. While we were doing the fit out on the first floor, ground floor of that building was being vacated. It had an apparel store in it. So I currently own an apparel brand, and I'm talking about one apparel store. So I'm sure you must be able to realize that there is a link to it. So that store was getting vacated. Store manager of that store was in touch with me because we were building something on the first floor. This store manager told me, sir, our company is not able to run this store, but if you take this store and start running it, you will be able to run it. I was like, wow, that's a wonderful idea. I have the staff, I have the location, and I already have customers who are visiting this location. The only thing that I need to do is I need to bring the products and I'm all set. So I spoke to the landlord, took ground floor also, and we were all set. My mother is not very educated, but she told me, I'll say this in Hindi because she said that in Hindi. Beta itni jaldi mat karo, wo uncle jo aane wale aa jaye, lease kara lo, and then you go for it. I was more of a youngster then, and I was like, Mummy, don't worry, that Bhaiya is very nice, he is not going to do anything. That was the biggest mistake of my life that I had done. Without signing a lease, I bought the stock for the apparel store and started interior designing fit out also. And this fellow realized that now these people are in trap. My first two businesses closed without even being starting. And this is something that you can go to Gurgaon and verify. This is not a made-up story. I, by the way, also make content on social media, on Instagram, YouTube, and all of this information is already there. So this is truth, not to sound very inspiring, but this is the reality. So both my businesses shut because of one mistake, that I kept my ears closed. I did not hear my mother. My mother had not done MBA from IIM Ahmedabad. However, she had experienced people in life. Had I kept my ears open, I would not have done that mistake. That was the biggest reason because of which my business failed. But then God's anger had gone away. I remember it was a very difficult situation for me to vacate those shops and take the stock somewhere. But eventually I got another shop where, along with my job, I started doing this business. By the way, just to put in context, I have, as the gentleman has already mentioned, that I've worked in training and HR department in organizations like Interglobe, which is the parent company of Indigo Airlines, WNS Global, which is an IT company, and Akash Group of Institutes. So I got one shop, I started one store from there, and today that store, we had one store till COVID, and today we have 10 company-operated profitable stores in the metropolis of Gurgaon, Delhi, Ghaziabad, and Ludhiana. So that's my story so far. Now, few things that I would like you to take away from this session, especially because I have students sitting here who entire day watch social media and have made a perception of a sort in their minds. Let me try to break that perception. There is a lot of difference between how business is being portrayed on internet versus how it is done on the ground. 5 principles of business that I am going to talk about, because I'm sure most of you or some of you will, at the later part of your life, will start something of your own. Principle number 1, learn at others' cost. So the students who are here, many of them must already be must already been planning to start businesses with your partners or your colleagues. Do not make that mistake as soon as you come out of colleges. Make mistakes at somebody else's expense. Join a good company for 2 to 3 years. There make mistakes. When you make mistakes, it is that person's company which is going to be impacted. So he is going to ensure that you do not make mistakes. He is going to get you trained on it so that you don't make mistakes. Those who start businesses without having any experience whatsoever have more chances of failure. And I'm saying it again, if you fail once, you may not be able to restart, because businesses, startups need a lot of energy, efforts, and investment. There are a lot of motivational speakers across India. I personally feel that now there is a need in India for a demotivational speaker also. Though I'm not trying to be a demotivational speaker, but all that I'm trying to say is that the reality is different from how it is being portrayed on internet. So one is learn at cost of others, not at cost of your own money. Number two, do not link your prestige with the business that you are going to spend. You must have seen a new office or new shop opening, all the relatives coming up for the inauguration, 100, 200, 250 people coming up for inauguration. Somebody has 50 lakhs. He takes 20 lakh rupees from Mamaji, another 20 lakh from bank, and puts all the money in the business to start with. That approach can be very dangerous. No matter how much you have planned for your business, no matter how much survey you have done for your startup, chances of your first business failing is going to remain very, very high. Second, as soon as you will open your business, you will realize that I have certain products, customer wants something else, or I am sitting at the wrong location. You will not have funds to make the changes that are required at the beginning of setting up a business or a startup. So start small. Do not connect your prestige with the business. Number three, I have already said that during my interaction already. YouTube or other social media platforms are shops. People are making content there not for your benefit, but for their benefits. They want more likes and views and shares. So for example, when I make a content, I post it on YouTube, I will see, am I getting more likes, more views, more shares? If I realize, no, I don't care about you, I am going to change my content. So how many videos do you see about, let's say, hardware business today on YouTube? About sanitary, about tap business? Do you see videos? You will not see those videos because they are not very exciting. More videos on internet are going to be about startups related to cloud kitchen, which have over 95% chances of failure. You will see startups related to day trading. Yeah? Why does that happen? Because India has over 140 crore people, and most of them, will it be insulting if I say that most of them are jobless? YouTube and social media are shops. People are making content to earn money. They have nothing to do with how you are going to get impacted by that content. All right? That's very important. I'm telling you, what happens today is you go out of the college, you go home, you try on internet, how can I start a business? Cloud Kitchen was started by Satbir in Gurgaon and he has earned 350 crores. Oh my God, I'll start Cloud Kitchen. But Satbir is one of the 1,000 people who have started Cloud Kitchen. Right? If you go on ground and see who are the people who have started Cloud Kitchen, all of them are, or most of them are like, my chef has run away and I'm facing a lot of trouble. Yeah? Number four, when you start a business, online and offline, both combinations are required. Offline is required to have reliability in your business. If you do not have an offline office, online sales is very difficult. When you have an offline office, do not have online presence, you are not able to scale up. So recommended solution is start offline, have a small shop, Don't tell Mamaji or Fufaji that I'm opening a shop. Open it somewhere else. So when it fails, Mamaji is going to say, I told you it is going to fail. If it succeeds, Mamaji is going to say, I had trust on you. Happens? Okay. So I have 15, 16 minutes. I think I've spent most of it. So I'm going to be a little fast. Offline, online combination is required. Both has to be done. Number 5, you have to be patient. These magazines that have been launched, 30 under 30, 40 under 40, they can be very dangerous. You need to succeed in life, but don't have an age target that I want to have 400 crores by the time I'm 26 years old. No, you can be 52 years old and then have 400 crores. You are going to have equal respect in industry or in society. So that can be very dangerous. Coming out from IIT or coming out from this college that you guys are from, you'll be like, I want to be the entrepreneur and billionaire. Next year, I am going to be in the list of billionaire. That can be dangerous. Have patience, give time to yourself. Especially, I'm mentioning this point especially because you are going to do online sales also. In online, you need to focus on growth. And growth happens organically. Today, youth is making a mistake. They make an Instagram page, they upload photos of their product, click on boost, and they are feeling like, I'm going to sell in Ahmedabad, I'm going to sell in Chennai, I'm going to sell in Ghaziabad. This is not how it works. When somebody comes to your page, they are going to see if this is a reliable page, how is the customer service. First, you need to build everything organically. This is when you start, selling through advertisements. So organic growth in offline versus online, both is very important. So that's all I could say in 15, 16 minutes that I was given. For anything else that you may need, I'm not doing my advertisement here, but for any support that you may need from me, you can probably reach out to TEDx. They can give you information about myself. It was wonderful interacting with you rather than giving a speech. But since you laughed and you reacted to the political comment, that is an interaction. So thank you so much, everybody. It was nice being here.